The definition of strength is the quality or state of being strong. The quality of state of being strong. If you would turn to Mark 12. Mark 12 and verse 30. Christ is talking to the disciples. He says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength." This is the first commandment. With all your strength, brethren. Where do we get our strength from? Where do we get our resolve from? Let's go back to Psalms. Psalms chapter 28. We're going to spend most of the time in Psalms. I'm going to start with Psalms chapter 28. In verse 7. I think it makes it pretty clear right here. The Lord is my strength. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him, and I am helped. You know, He's our shield. He shields us from all the attacks that come on from man's ways, from man's persuasion over this world, led by Satan. We have a shield that we can get behind. And He gives us the strength in our heart. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices. Do we have that rejoicing, brethren? We do. We do. It gives us the ability, that strength gives us the ability to come out of the world. Remember the heart part. We're going to come back to that a little bit more here in a few minutes. Let's look down the next chapter, Psalm 29. 29 and verse 4. The voice of the Lord is powerful. It's powerful. There's strength. There's strength in it. He gives us the strength. He gives us the power and the ability to do the things we do, to set the example that we know we need to set. And of course, we have to choose to do that. But He gives us the strength. He gives us the courage. We become strong and mighty in that power of His Word. Do we doubt it? Do we ever doubt God's power and ability? This flesh will cause us to do that. This carnal nature that we have, this carnal thought process, it will cause us to doubt and wonder sometimes. Is God actually with me? Is He really going to help me? Is He going to comfort me and take care of me? You know, we sometimes think we got to do it ourselves. We don't ever accomplish it ourselves. Sometimes we recognize that. And sometimes we go over and over trying to figure it out. Until finally we understand that we can't. And He's the only one that can. Look down in verse 11. Chapter 29. The Lord will give strength unto His people. To those who seek Him, those who trust Him, those who strive to put Him first. The Lord will bless His people with peace. Peace, brethren. Isn't that what we all desire? Peace. Peace in our mind, in our heart. That joy that comes along with it. That sense of comfort. Knowing that God's in charge and He will take care of me. And what a peaceful feeling, knowledge and understanding that is. Is there fear or worry or doubt in peace? It's not there, is it? How about regret, which leads to depression? There's no peace in that. You know, the whole world's running around. They're running from this to that. They're trying to find peace. They're trying to find contentment and happiness. But they're leaving out, in many cases, the most important being, our Creator. Created everything that is and ever will be. He gets left out a lot. Let's go back to Psalm 27. We'll start there in verse 1. Psalm 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? What shall I fear? When the Lord is our light, He's leading the way for us. We're following Christ's example. What do we have to fear? What does it say next, brethren? The Lord is the strength of my life. He is the strength of my life in every way. Of whom shall I be afraid? Of what shall I be afraid? There's no need to fear or be afraid anymore. Verse 3. Though a host should encamp against me, a multitude come against me. The whole world can be against us. And it is for the most part. And some of us have faced these trials directly, some indirectly. We know that we're on a much different path than the rest of the world. But even though they come against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident that God is my strength. He will deliver me. Verse 5, for in time of trouble He shall hide me in His pavilion. In the secret of His tabernacle shall He hide me. And He shall set me upon a rock. A rock, brethren. Is that a wonderful promise? Is that wonderful knowledge to know? Does that bring peace to our minds and our hearts to know that He will set us upon a rock? Consider Abraham, Moses, Joseph. Just for a moment, consider all that they went through. All the really difficult struggles, the challenges, the courage that they had, the faith, the confidence. It was all through the strength that God gave them. And they desired that strength. They realized how much they needed it. And we need it. We need it just the same. We haven't faced those kind of struggles as they have, but we face our own, and we will face more. We need that strength continually. You don't have to turn there, but Psalm 37:39. The salvation of the righteous is the Lord. He's their strength in time of trouble, in time of need. When those feelings of desperation and despair come upon us, we've all had that. It's not a comfortable feeling. We want to be relieved of it as quick as possible. He's the way. He will strengthen us. He will. Let's go back to our rock, the part about our rock. Let's look at Psalm 31. Psalm 31 in verse 3. For you are my rock and my fortress. You are my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Is our flesh a fortress? Is it strong? Can it hold up to these trials and troubles, situations that come upon us in this life? We know it can't. It's like the sand, isn't it, brethren? It's like us being our strength put on the sand. It's going to collapse. The flesh is going to collapse. The flesh is going to sink. The flesh is going to fall into that worry and fear and doubt and despair and desperation. It's going to happen. But he says, I'm your rock and your fortress. I will take care of you. Look down in verse 4. Pull me out of the net that's laid for me, for you are my strength. The net of the world, it's out there for us. We're always right on the edge of it, sometimes getting tangled up in it very, very much, because it's there, waiting for us to slip, waiting for us to turn away. The net of anxiety, the net of confusion, all the grief and afflictions that we face in this life. He says, I'm your rock and I'm your strength, and I will bring you through those things. And he does, brethren. He does. He brings us through. And he brings us through strong. We come out stronger when we have these things. We have these trials. Because they exercise us. So where is our foundation? Where is it? Is it in the flesh? If it is, we need to realize that it's going to fail. It's weak. The flesh is weak. We want to get on the rock. There's strength there. And lots of it. Verse 10. For my life is spent with grief. We have grief in our life, don't we, brethren? In this flesh. And my years with sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity. That's how we lose our strength, brethren. When we slip into our own ways. When we try to take things into our own hands and think we know more than our Creator. We think we can take care of ourselves. What do we know? What do we know that we can do? Oh, sometimes when we take that path, things by chance may go all right for a little while. But it's only a little while. And we need Him again. We always need Him. And the wonderful thing, He's always there to strengthen our heart and to give us that peace. That peace that we're always seeking, always wanting, always hoping that we can wake up with every day. It's there for us. We got to stay out of that sand. Got to stay out of it. Because it's not going to hold you. Not for long. You keep running on it a little while, it'll hold you a little bit. But it doesn't endure. The rock endures. Look at verse 15. My times are in your hand. Do we realize that? That our time here is in God's hands. It always has been. Always will be. Even when we think we're doing our own thing, and even when we are doing our own thing, our times are still in His hands. How are we spending our time here? Are we valuing it, really? Truly valuing it? Making the most of it? I know I've got a long way to go in that area, making the most of my time, coming out of the fear and the worry, the doubt that this world brings on. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from them that persecute me. You know, a lot of times that's within our own minds can be our worst enemy. Especially when we let fear take us over, we let depression, we let worry, stress of this life. You know, we get in the stress of this life because we're not looking to Him. That's the only way to stay out of it. Look to Him. He'll keep the stress off. If it's there, it won't feel the same. You'll still have the peace. You'll still have the clarity you need to work through it. He takes care of us. In that same chapter, go down to verse 23. 23 and 24. O love the Lord, all you His saints, for the Lord preserves the faithful. He preserves the faithful. He plentifully rewards the proud in doing His will. Putting that at the forefront of our life is doing His will. It's not something that our carnal mind naturally thinks about. It's something we have to battle with. We have to battle that world out of our mind, out of our hearts, and say, no, I'm going to do God's will. I'm going to trust Him today. I'm not going to go in with this flow. I'm not going to give in and give over. I am going to resist. I'm going to rejoice while I'm resisting as well. Be of good courage. What does He tell us after be of good courage? He shall strengthen your heart. Strengthen it. All you that hope in the Lord. Your hope will be answered. That strength will be there. It will. And the joy that goes with it. The peace of mind and the contentment. And the joy of being able to shine that light to others. It's what we should always be striving to do. To encourage others and uplift others. That joy and peace that comes is not just for us. It's for us to share and to give. To reach out, to extend ourselves in any way possible. To recognize that as much as we needed it, and we have it now, we have it to give. And we know that we're going to slip. We know that tomorrow, next week, we may not be in that same mindset and strength. But we know we can get back to it. We know that's what we got to keep struggling to do. That's got to be our goal. Is to keep on reaching for it. Realizing we need it. Realizing how important it is. Let's look at Philippians. Philippians chapter 4. Chapter 4 and verse 13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Does it say I can just do a few things? Does it say maybe once in a while I can accomplish something? Maybe once in a while I'll come out on top of a situation? Does it say that? I can do all things. I can overcome all things through Christ. You know, we have the Passover coming up. The days of unleavened bread. We need strength to get that leaven out. I'm not talking about the leaven, the physical leaven. We need some strength to get that out too. But I'm talking about the spiritual leaven. That leaven that creeps in to our carnal minds. We need strength for that, don't we? We don't just want to talk about it with words. We want to be active. We want to really make headway. And we realize we never get it all. There's always some we find in a corner somewhere, in a crevice, in a crack. Maybe somewhere we didn't look. Thought, nah, there won't be any there. But it's there. That leaven is always there. And we've got to have the strength to look for it, to examine ourselves, and to put it out. To examine our heart. He says, I'll strengthen your heart. I'll give you the courage you need. I'll give you the comfort you need, the peace you need to deal with these things and face these things. I'm talking about all the things that we face in this world, whether it's whatever it is, grief, whatever problems, whatever stress. He gives us the strength to overcome those things. And He gives us the strength to see the things that are in our way, that are holding us back. That leaven. He shows us. Let's go back to Psalms. Psalms 27. Psalm 27 and verse 11. Teach me your way, O Lord. Please teach me your ways. My ways are nothing. I want to know your ways, Father, because I love them. I love your ways. I love truth. I love righteousness. And lead me in a plain path. Help me to see the direction you want me to go. Put my feet on that straight and narrow path. Remove that leaven so that I can see clearly the way that you desire me to go, and that I will have that desire in my heart, and I will have that strength to fulfill that desire and to walk uprightly, to serve you and honor you, to obey you, to trust you, to know that I don't have to worry anymore, to know that I don't have to be engulfed in grief or stress or pain or any of these things that this flesh brings on. My time is in your hands, Father. It's in your hands, and you will take care of me. You've promised, and you'll strengthen me. You'll help me to understand what I need to do. You'll help me to know the things I need to avoid. My enemies are the world around me. The flesh, the carnal mind. Help me to recognize that. To be prepared, to be on guard and alert to the subtleties of our mind and how it works and how Satan works it against us. Let's look at verse 13. I had fainted unless I believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. We would have no hope without Him. We would be lost. We would see that this life is it. We would think that way. We would not understand and realize that this life is very temporary. This life is not something to boast in, because it's very fleeting. But there's a life coming that's without end. Everlasting. Everlasting, eternal. Now that's something to be excited about. Because it's going to be not just eternal, but eternal with that peace of mind. With that joy. With that contentment that we desire and yearn for. That we need and want. It's going to be there for us. It's not going to be anything like this world. We have that to look forward to. And we know it. We know it because we know through our trust in God, we know that He's helped us. We know He delivers us. We see it. We see it in His goodness right now. Our faith. We exercise our faith. Verse 14. Wait on the Lord. Wait on Him. Look to Him. Let Him show you the path to take. Let Him guide you. Put away your haughtiness. Put away your arrogance. Put away your self-righteousness. Put away your pride and your ego. Put away your self-serving motives and feelings. Wait on Him. He will give you the strength you need. Be of good courage. Be of good courage along the way. He'll take the fear away. He will. He will give you all the courage you need. He'll remove those things that cause you to slip, cause you to lose sight. You ask Him, and you continue to seek Him and wait for Him. He will answer you, and He will strengthen you. He will strengthen your heart, brethren. Your heart. And your mind goes right along with that. He will direct you in all things. He's all that we need. Look to Him. Wait for Him. Be courageous. Always be courageous. Be bold in speaking His word. Be ready to serve. Be ready to give. Be ready to share. Be ready to help. He shall strengthen you all the way to His kingdom. God bless you.